Welcome back to Do You Remember This Movie? Yes, or this TV show. Hello, Trent. Hello, Cam.
Hello. Hi.
How are you guys?
Good. Better than okay.
You ever been to camp?
I love camp.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I love camp. All sorts of camps. But this one is a little bit different. And maybe Cam can tell us a little bit about this particular camp.
Now it's time for the synopsis with Cam. The synopsis with Cam.
All right, well, this movie's called Space Camp, but Space Camp's more of a backdrop. The real story is about a government science experiment gone wrong when it becomes sentient with the help of an unruly child, and together they carry out their evil master plan to launch 5 children and 1 lady into space and strand them. Gotta admit, it was a pretty funny prank.
We got him. All I could think about the whole time was, how much does this prank cost?
Yeah.
You know, like, this is a very expensive prank. You guys want to know who's in this prank movie? It's not a prank movie, but do you want to know who's in this movie? I can tell you. But first, I've had this shirt that I'm about to show you for quite a few years now. It has turned into my painting and like house project shirts, but I busted it out just for this. So we got my NASA shirt.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's also got a bunch of paint marks on it too, but I wanted to do show and tell there. Do you want to run the bit again? I just got All right, so now that we've taken off here, I want to say this lady is named Kate Capshaw. I hope I said her name right. She plays Andy, but most known for her being Willie Scott in Indiana Jones of the Temple of Doom. Is it End Temple? It's Indiana Jones End Temple of Doom. I always say in Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
that makes more sense because isn't he in the temple?
They
for most of the movie.
Yeah, some of the movie, yeah.
Whatever. What do we got? Lee Thompson is also in this movie. She plays.
Thompson.
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong. Leah Thompson as Catherine, but we know her as Lorraine. I think that was her name in Back to the Future.
And she was in Howard the Duck.
And she was in Howard the Duck. I've never seen Howard the Duck. Should we stop this now and I should go watch it?
Yeah. And we're back. And we're back.
And we're back. Dude, that movie was awesome. I highly suggest it. Who else do we have in this movie? Kelly Preston as Tish, but she's mostly known for being the mom in the Cat in the Hat movie.
I would say she's best known for being married to John Travolta.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't do my research as depth as maybe you have, or you just knew that. That's just solid Trent knowledge in his head right now. Who's up next? Larry Scott as Rudy. I have a few here, but he's mostly known for being Jerry in The Karate Kid.
He's one of the Cobra Kai. And I'm glad you said that, too, because people really put him as, like, you know, the guy from Revenge of the Nerds, right? But he was in, but he was one of the Cobra Kai. He can play a bad guy.
So this one was kind of strange because I should have looked it up, but so this kid in the movie who plays Max, like the lead little kid, you know, who I'm not going to ruin it for everybody what he does, but he looked a lot like somebody. He kind of looked like Joaquin Phoenix, and I figured out that that's his twin brother, Leaf Phoenix.
Correct.
Way different ages, though. Like, Joaquin is way older than Leaf, but they're twin brothers. It's pretty crazy.
He's way older now.
Which one? Well, both of them, because I mean,
yeah,
he's a kid and Joaquin's an adult, and they're twins.
But yeah,
he's just keep them older.
He's approximately 38 years or whatever older than Joaquin Phoenix was than Lee Phoenix was in this movie.
Yes. So, yeah, look that up. I mean, if you need to fact check, definitely you have to go on the dark web to find this information, but it's out there. Last but not least, Terry O'Quinn. I mean, how many times have we? Yeah.
Great.
How many times have we mentioned Terry O'Quinn on this podcast? He's known for just everything. We'll just leave it at that.
He's known for this podcast.
He's known for this podcast.
I liked that as the credits rolled, he rolled before the cast. It was just his name and no character. It just said Terry O'Quinn, and then the cast started. I'm like, nice.
Just wanted to highlight, hey.
Well, you know what's nice though is in this movie we don't know whether he has children or not, because in every movie he plays a father of some sort, right? Like
true.
In Cutting Edge, he's the young lady's dad. In Pin, he's the kid's dad. In The Stepfather, this is crazy. He's the stepfather. Somebody just brought this up. It was like a couple months ago, but they're like, man, that guy looks like the guy in Old School, who when Luke Wilson's character gets with his boss's daughter.
Yeah,
the boss.
He looks like
it is Terry O'Quinn. He's in everything. The guy is the glue.
Him?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The guy is the glue that holds Hollywood together.
If you want a solid movie, get Terry O'Quinn involved in it. But in all seriousness, yeah, his character in this one was smoking launch director. and that's all I'm going to go with. There's a lot more people in this. I'm sure we'll bring them up throughout the clips. I'm excited to see which clips you have. I love that cover. That was not the cover that's on IMDb.
Oh, do you have the one where it looks like a shuttle crew?
Yeah, here, see if you can see that.
Oh, that's the original poster.
Yeah, that's the thumbnail on IMDb there.
And we can actually go into that now. Is that what hurt this movie more than anything is they're using the Challenger stuff but the next Challenger mission ended up being a fatal disaster, right? So that ruined the trajectory of this movie's success as well.
I read that. Yeah.
So wasn't it also the exact same booster failure?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know it was eerily like strange. Like I had to fact check. I had to like wait which happened first?
So Jinx got out then.
And so this got ruined kind of by that the Challenger accident, but so they changed the movie poster to the one you see on the screen here because it doesn't show because that
an actual rocket,
the exact image.
Space shuttle,
well, that image is the Challenger, that not from the time that it launched when it exploded, but from the mission before. The Challenger was used in multiple missions, right? So that's what that is.
Well, and so I did want to like touch base on the Challenger thing a little bit. So I'm glad you brought it up. But yeah, just like you said, so the Challenger blew up, in January of 1986, and I believe this movie came out in June. So like it didn't do well.
No,
I looked up. It was kind of a bomb. Like it did not do well. People didn't go see it. People weren't ready to watch a movie with mechanical failure with a space shuttle, But I enjoyed it. So let's see some clips.
All right. I added a clip just last second, so hopefully it didn't jumble them up here. Yeah, I just wanted to include this. Okay, so first off, when I first saw this movie, I thought this was going to be Leah Thompson's character, but it is not. It's Andy, or we can just call her Willie from Temple of Doom. It's Willie's character. But what a weird scene. So she's talking to herself outside while the moon landing is happening inside, and they're trying to watch. They're like, you can watch it on TV, and she's like, I can see it from right here, like with naked eye, right? But what's weird is just this little bit at the end here.
You winked at
What? So what I'm getting at here is, so she's saying that, no, I don't want to watch it on TV where they're doing like at least mostly professional coverage of this thing. I'm just going to look at it from my farmhouse on the ground. She's not even standing up. She's not getting herself any bit of advantage to see.
She's on the small farm, yeah.
And then she thinks that she could see John Glenn wink at her. How good is this little girl's eyesight?
That's what you thought. Was that your younger self thought, or that's your current thought?
That's my current thought. This girl has bionic eyes.
Well, I mean, she does. I guess.
You know, it's a really good nonsensical dip. You dip your toes, because I was watching this scene. I was in the kitchen, which I can still see my TV from. I was getting myself a little snack.
And you thought like, John Glenn winked at you too?
Yeah, no.
I was even further
I
away from
immediately
that
ran
girl.
outside, and it was overcast, but I was like, there he was. No, I was like, this is a good little, like, dip your toes into how ridiculous the first act of this movie is going to be.
Well, and what bugs me is that so she's a starry-eyed little girl with all these dreams, and then she becomes this person.
You get your chance next time.
Primary objective of the test.
You're damn right I will.
Not Tom Skerritt. Willie. She becomes Willie. Sorry.
You're not going to be the
Also
only
known
one
for
in this
big
family to
advanced
walk on the moon.
Think of the bright side of this one. You get to spend your summer with me at space camp.
Okay, your summer with me? That means like, and isn't that like right now? Don't they just get in their car, go to space camp right now?
Yeah, and I like that it's adults, they look forward to their summer break. Like, you know.
I'm weirded out by the you get to spend your summer your summer vacation or your whole summer at space camp, and she's like, and then they just pack up the car and go right directly from here to there because she wasn't going to going up in space. So what happens if she was going up in space? Would Jinx just have trained them? I mean, there was nobody else left.
I mean, yeah, who was their backup trainer?
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably Jinx.
All right, and then this next little line here, I didn't want to include everything on this scene, but this next little line was clearly to set up the next thing you see, and it's a little annoying.
Oh, no.
You promised.
Terrific. I get to play Let's Pretend I'm an Astronaut with a bunch of kids.
Hey, these aren't just kids, you know. These are clean-cut, all-American kids.
All American kids.
Quick time out. They're married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In that first scene, I was like, are they cousins, brother? Why wouldn't you spend the summer with your,
Yeah.
Well, if your husband has a job at a camp, there's probably sleeping quarters for you. I don't know. I felt like that was weird. It was like in one of the last scenes where he says, "My wife's gonna blow up in space," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I feel like I didn't know.
Yeah,
that was a thing.
Well, also, okay. I don't know how this all works, but like it. So you are an astronaut and you didn't get chosen to go up in space. I mean, that's her problem when she gets out of the airplane there, the jet. Did she think that she was just going to spend the summer moping about it? I mean, like what?
Yeah, you're either still employed by NASA or in the Air Force. Those.
Yeah,
yeah.
They weren't like you don't. Okay, yeah. You don't get to go to space, but come back. Maybe September or the next September, whenever we need you. Be on call. You're still on salary. You're all good. Yeah. All right. But I like the all American kids, and then this kid pulls in, with listening to Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
That
was kind of funny.
And it's funny that the Eric Clapton music in this movie sounds actually older than the Clapton music that he releases like 6 years from this moment. It's like old man VH1 music. It's like this stuff. Like when it was released, it went instantly into grocery stores. right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good example.
But anyway, so this kid's supposed to be like the resident badass, and I never believed it for a second.
How many times must I tell you, baby? How many bridges I've got to cross?
Right.
How many times must I swear myself? Or I can talk the voice. Or I can
I believe this is one of your kids now. Yep. I'd recognize him anywhere. Clean cut, well motivated, all American.
I guess it was a hit at the time, though. Yeah. Song.
It was?
But, yeah, it came out in '85, and it's called Forever Man, and it was. I'm assuming it was a popular tune. But go on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of why it.
I wouldn't think this kid rocking out to Eric Clapton would be seen as like the trouble kid.
The tough guy, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to cause some trouble. He's listening to Clapton.
How many times does he have to say, "I don't care about anything"? It's like, no, I don't believe that for a second. But the only person he gets in a fight with is a little kid.
Yeah. I do clip that as well. Here he said, like, this is extremely inappropriate, though.
Hey! Great boosters!
Like, he's like, man, yeah, that was good. Like, no.
Yeah.
No. There was no way ever that would have worked. And, yeah, and you're still listening to Clapton.
Turn that down. What? Would you mind turning that down? Okay.
It's Clapton, bro.
Otherwise,
You're making me turn down the Clapton?
Yeah.
All right, so here's our the big star of the show, right?
they would feel like the monkeys in the
What the hell was that?
Prototype maintenance droid. NASA built him for the space station.
When's he going up?
He's not. They blew it on his shielding. His chips become unpredictable in about 2 hours.
He's such a complex piece of
Seems weird that NASA would approve all of this, right? So this robot that they're going to say how much he's worth in a second here, it doesn't work. They're somehow they are able to launch children into space, and then couple that with the impending actual Challenger disaster. Man, egg on your face.
machinery. NASA hasn't been able to iron out all the bugs. So he helps out here and at Kennedy.
I love how it looks like a little face piece.
Midget extraterrestrial.
No, he's the world's only $27 million handyman.
$27 million.
$27 million?
$27 million is how much this robot is. Seems like you would keep
That's
a better.
how much the studio spent on it.
It seems like you'd keep a better eye on this thing.
Yeah, not let him get stolen by a child every night.
Yeah.
Or
repaired by a child.
Yeah. Like, why didn't they decommission this monstrosity?
Corey, you were gonna say something. I cut you off.
Oh no, I was just gonna make a joke about the face of Jinx there. It kind of reminds me of a Canadian from South Park.
Oh, because it's half, yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
What the hell is that ratchet?
In your hand.
So the voice of Jinx is voiced by the great Frank Welker.
What the hell is that ratchet?
In your
Frank
hand.
Welker,
right?
mostly known for.
He's known for doing the voice of Abu in Aladdin, Megatron. We got Nibbler from Futurama. We got Fred from Scooby-Doo. This guy's one of the greatest voice actors of all time. So they really it should have been Terry O'Quinn and Frank Welker as top billing. He was the voice of the majority of the Gremlins, including Stripe. Right? He was the voice of the gopher in Caddyshack. Anyway, look up Frank Welker, one of the greatest voice actors of all time. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox now.
I'm looking up Frank Welker, and everybody else should too.
Yeah, he's a star. He's a star.
You know, you're real pretty. Kind of understated.
I love that the biggest song from this movie just gets played in the background of this scene. Right? The Dire Straits.
You got great eyes.
Did you notice the continuity issue?
What was that?
So, So Far Away starts playing at the beginning of the scene, and then it just skips straight to Walk of Life, skipping over. Corey?
Oh. I
Trent,
missed
do you know?
The I Want My MTV song.
Yeah, Money for Nothing. It just skips right over it.
Because
they probably couldn't afford the rights for that one.
No, actually, I just I read about this when looking up the movie that was used in another movie at this exact same time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna show during that little scene was I'm not gonna go back, but if you in that little back and forth behind Leah Thompson's character is a picture of an astronaut, and just because we like to say this kind of stuff, point this stuff out, that was Sally Ride, who was on the Challenger mission in 1983 before this movie was made.
Oh, wow. That's a good fun fact. I mean, not fun, but it's a good fact.
Yeah, in the successful Challenger mission.
You guys did you ever find a Sally Ride quarter?
No.
Yeah, she's on them now.
Oh,
isn't that cool? Isn't that neat?
I don't use change all that much.
I haven't seen it either.
I only use hundreds and say keep the change.
Well, yeah, like what can you buy for a quarter now? You know, you need like a sack of quarters.
Tootsie Roll.
A sack of quarters. You're like yeah, here's my All right. I just want to show this scene not only because we get to see that he's keeping Max is keeping Jinx in the closet, but also you get to see two other I don't want to say known actors, but just actors you see in other things.
Hey, what's going on?
This kid's got this thing.
So this guy, his name is Mitchell Anderson, and he plays this character's name is Banning. Mitchell Anderson was really well known for being the supposed cool guy on Doogie Howser.
Okay.
Right? And then this guy that's blurred face, because I kind of capped him at a terrible spot here. His name is Scott Coffey. Coffrey, sorry. Scott, no, it's Coffey. I'm sorry. Scott Coffey. I'm doing my best Corey impression here. Scott Coffey plays the character of Gardner. Scott Coffey was in tons of stuff, and maybe if I can get a little bit of there we go. A better look at him.
There he is.
He's in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's in a movie that was made right before this, maybe probably be after this. He was in a movie called Some Kind of Wonderful with Leah Thompson.
Oh wow!
Right? Yeah. So
connection.
Yeah, this guy gets around. He's like he basically plays this guy in every movie. The what is that? We're gonna get him. And then they don't see him again.
The guy in the background who doesn't even get credited for being in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller, doesn't he just like laugh one time and go like
yeah.
Yeah. Got paid $200 to show up and that's about it.
No, he gets to talk to Ferris on the phone at one point too, I believe. I might be wrong on that. All right.
Evaporate laser brand.
I'll give you
Lay off the kids. Take a look.
Wow, look at that.
Holy shit.
Shit. Solid waste aboard space station candy.
So why is Rudy's character surprised to see he just met Jinx. He just met him earlier that day. What? Oh my gosh! What is this thing?
One of two ways.
Jinx!
First, cancel!
It does seem like the scene leading up to that was the first scene with him on set. I don't know if you guys got that vibe.
Oh, like yeah, they could
they
shock everybody,
and then they like just had them in the hangar later, and they were like, yeah, we'll just patch this in before. I don't know. There were a few times in this movie that it felt like that, like things were just not edited in the right way. But
Right,
you know
yeah,
what?
right.
It adds to the charm.
It does.
This scene brings up an alternate ending. I guess if you guys knew about an alternate ending of this movie.
I did not know about that. There is one?
The original written ending was supposed to be where they meet up with the Russian space station that has the Russian space camp kids in it. And,
Really?
and apparently the Russians sent their kids up there on purpose. Right? And then they help them get the oxygen they need to get back home. But then,
Hello, nice to meet you. Would you like vodka and free oxygen?
would you like some air ski? Yes.
Aren't you 13 years old? Yes, I've been drunk for 10 years.
So it was later decided that it's better if these kids had to come together on their own, right? But so this kind of alludes to it. So I don't know if you guys caught this. Now knowing this scene makes more sense, right?
What's so special about going up?
But what a dumb thing. What's so special about going into space? Like, what's your fascination with going up into space? I mean,
they sent a dog, they sent a monkey, now they want to send a lady.
Yeah,
I just don't see the big deal.
Yeah, and I don't really know anything about space. I'm not like at a space camp. You know? Like
both of you. Yeah.
In space, anything is possible. I mean, maybe we could even do things right up there. I don't know. Instead of screwing them up like we have down here.
Nah, we screw them up.
Because everything's screwed up down here.
Yeah, but what's the point? I mean, we're all gonna get nuked anyway.
Kevin, that's just an excuse for people who are afraid to try.
I don't think being afraid of nukes is an excuse.
Also, seems like a pretty good reason to be in space.
No,
there is a nuke. Yeah. That's where I want to be. Yeah.
So in that scene, Kevin and I can't remember what Leah Thompson's character, Catherine. Kevin and Catherine have escaped together and go to make out point and look at the shuttle, right? And they get caught because Jinx spilled the beans. And so now she just stormed away upset. Upset at what? They didn't even get in trouble.
She's upset because Jinx got him in trouble? Oh.
No, Kevin's upset about Jinx. That's a valid scene. When he yells at Max and Jinx, I'm like, this is earned. But yeah, the scene with Catherine and Willie, not at all.
Oh, so I'm gonna play it because it's also.
Oh, here we go. Yeah,
it's a little weird too. But I guess Tom Skerritt and Willie bring them back to camp, and they don't even get in trouble. It's just like go to bed. Yeah. Right? Like there's not. Maybe they got 1,000.
Maybe they had to listen to Clapton on the way back.
They maybe got like 1,000 lashes off screen that we just don't. That was a deleted scene.
I'll just be a minute.
I want to know what those two guys did. Did they just stand there? Well,
you excited? Nah, I don't really like space.
What's the deal with space, anyways?
What's the deal with that? Was another scene that we didn't get to see. Bummer. The second conversation of what's the deal with space.
Catherine.
Or I'd be like, so that boosters comment you made about my wife earlier. You want to repeat that?
We were just talking. That's not the
How long
point
did it take to grow that mustache, man?
Nobody cares about space camp more than I do. And you've been on my case since day one.
But it's day 2.
That is one thing about this movie has it's really only all happens in 2-3 days.
Yeah. So this is day 2. You've been on my case since all the way back since yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. Not even a full day yet. Maybe now that it's nighttime, but
This is our third conversation, and you've had a problem with me since the first of those three exact conversations. This being the third, not the subsequent fourth. All right.
Why?
All right.
Can we talk about the second conversation?
Sure.
Because that was my biggest gripe. Well, not my biggest gripe with this movie, but when they strap her into the like stabilizing ring thing to practice testing, and they give her exactly 20 seconds to master it, and then they just move on. They're like, she doesn't have the sauce.
Yeah.
She hasn't got it.
It's like 20 seconds, and they mentioned that several times in the scene. And I was like, well, there's no way she's going to land the ship at the end. She said 20 seconds of training.
Yeah.
And then
That's all you need. That's all you need.
And then also, okay, you saw that there's many kids at this camp, right?
Yeah. And most of them aren't fighting with each other.
Well, okay, and then did one of them master that whole thing?
I did in 19 seconds. I mean,
yeah, maybe.
First try, 19 seconds.
Like somebody did a second better.
Like maybe those kids are in space already. They're like, we're actually gonna send you up there on purpose.
They were the ones building the space station.
Yeah. Which
they got transferred to Russia.
But I was thinking about that. Which you don't ever see the people on the space station. But yeah.
Well, and I don't want to take the mood down, but here's this this just awful ribbing and killing of dreams here.
Who talked?
It wasn't me, Han Solo. The Emperor got information out of Jinx.
Max. I'm not Han Solo. Okay? And you're not Luke Skywalker. There's no Empire.
His accent is funny here, by the way. Does anybody else notice that?
Was it Canadian?
I don't know.
And there's no Force, and there's no dark side, okay? You're just an ordinary kid, and so am I, and maybe nobody ever lives happily ever after, all right?
I think it's just the way he like tries to act, maybe.
So just stay away from me. Far away.
Far away.
Yeah, that's what that made me so mad. He had a perfect opportunity.
Yeah,
perfect opportunity.
Why couldn't he put 2 fars in there? I mean, why not? It wouldn't have cost them any more money. You know, you can't tell me that extra far wasn't in the budget.
That would have been perfect.
So then he goes and whines, and he tells Jinx that you're supposed to be my best friend. And I need to go to space. So Jinx goes to work, right?
I got you. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and this is weird. Like, why does Jinx have to speak out loud? And then why does the computers in NASA have to also speak out loud? I mean, I guess we know it's
for us.
Yeah, for the viewer's sake.
Yeah.
But it's just weird.
Very direct. But good. Good, right?
Hello, Jinx. How can NASA help you?
Put Max in space.
There is no Max listed in astronaut program.
You wanna hear a dark you want a morbid minute with Cam?
Morbid minute with Cam.
Apparently one of the people who died on the Challenger explosion was on that list that pops across the screen. And they just didn't edit it out because no one caught it. So
where did you see that? Did you pause it a bunch and read it through it?
No. I was looking at like boomer goofs on this movie.
Yeah,
because it's got a pretty big
it's probably quite a few.
A lot of people really hate on it, and a lot of astronauts and former pilots also like to really argue about the second and third act. But I felt like that was boring. I felt like that one was just like, oh, come on. Someone's job was like, hey, let's make sure we don't do anything Challenger related.
Do we have any lists in the movie? I don't think so.
This little like interface that he has, I just wanted to call that out because they reuse this later. I'll show you. They just reuse the exact thing. They only did it once.
now.
There is now a printer plugged in to the printer port.
Yeah.
Get to sit inside.
Okay, so there are two things in this scene. One is, okay, they're being transported in this little shuttle bus, right? For the kids, and they're all hanging their heads out the window like just geniuses. What is that bus behind them? Is it a bunch of prisoners?
It does look like
what?
At T-minus 60 minutes until the test firing of 3 main engines.
That's Terry Quinn's smoking bus.
Yeah.
It looks like the bus from Point Blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a prison bus.
Yeah.
Hey guys, do you guys want to work in the fields today, or do you guys want to see a shuttle test their engines? You know. All right. You guys want to? Yeah. You want to pick up garbage on the side of the highway, or would you like to see some space?
Or you
stuff?
want to pick up garbage next to the launch pad?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just want to show this scene. This is their first interaction since the big fight that was a long, long time ago. All right.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, here it's
Yeah.
It must be about
4 o'clock p.m. ignition.
You all right?
Yeah.
You heard it a few minutes ago. The Lockheed test predicting the
I
test
can't believe our luck.
countdown.
What was that?
I just can't believe that's Joaquin's brother.
I can't believe that they didn't show any type of apology.
Okay, that too.
I mean, this kid ran out of a room last night wanting to die in space, and you're just like, "What's up?
You cool, bro?
You good?"
Thermal curtain failure.
Printer again.
Max and Jinx, friends forever.
We have overheat on booster B.
There he is."
Temperature 1,200 degrees and climbing. Get that thing
Overheat?
operational.
I gotta overheat this dart.
Terminate the test.
There he is.
It's like at this point, this movie just got serious.
Yeah.
Not because of what's happening, because Terry O'Quinn's on the screen.
It's like War Games.
Sure.
Yeah, it did
Shutdown
feel
temperature.
like
We
that.
can't stop it.
We have thermal curtain failure.
What does that mean? Andy!
Booster B, temperature is critical.
Do it. Zach, we're not authorized.
Light it or they're gonna die.
This might be a dumb question, but like, there is a real space camp, and right. I mean, I don't know if there still is or not, but
Still
do
is.
they? Is this something they do for people at space camp? Like go on a real spaceship? Okay, I wasn't sure if this was an actual thing that they may have done.
No, space camp is Alabama. This is in Florida.
This is- yeah.
But just to get a little nostalgic, on a personal level here, look at the screen right now. Doesn't that take you back to our first episode?
Over the top?
No, Cutting Edge and Ice Castles. It's the dad from Ice Castles and the dad from Cutting Edge.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It comes full
Just-
circle. Good catch.
Yeah.
Weirdly, one was. It feels like one was younger, and then the other one's way older, and it goes in the wrong direction.
flips.
In my
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good observation. I knew we've seen him in something.
5, 4, booster ignite. Booster ignite on.
This guy's the best actor in the entire.
It's a really good shot.
Yeah.
It's really good.
This guy, I don't know what he got paid, but it wasn't enough. This is serious, right? Because he just did the right.
Bird flying by.
I feel like that was CGI 20 years before it was possible.
Yeah, you're testing the CGI.
Lucas went in and remastered it. Maybe that's special.
Go, baby, go.
Go, baby, go. My wife is on that ship.
Yeah, also, they all seem like amazed and happy at this point still. And it's like, one, they must all know that is not a flight ready craft.
Right.
Like, they would just know that.
They would be panicking.
Yeah, they'd be like, no! And also, no one's trying a failsafe.
Yeah, true. Like,
there's no failsafe in.
There's no way to like.
It's like now, gotta let them go all the way.
Shuttle,
yeah.
You know?
Listen, you're talking about this like technology of 1986. Listen, these people.
They land on autopilot.
These people were completely, like their senses were dulled with just overuse of like Clapton music and
when they wanted to talk to their girlfriend, they had to go to walk a mile to her house and throw a rock at the window.
Well, and also,
and then Chad was there, and they had to go. Oh.
Well, and you think that Willie's character would have known this, seen this coming because she could see for thousands of miles in advance. Because John Glenn was winking at her.
We have liftoff. One tank.
So, well, I'll let you watch it, but keep this in mind here. This is a significant plot hole.
Of oxygen. Andy.
Yeah?
How long will one tank last?
Oh, by the way, he asks her, and then she's like thinking of the answer, and then it's going to appear on the screen.
12 hours.
Yeah, let me just look real quick.
That's not enough. We'll need more for re-entry. At least another hour.
So what are we gonna do?
Re-entry to landing, 14 hours. Estimated oxygen supply, 11 hours, 56 minutes.
So a minute has passed since they just said that. Okay?
Yep.
Max will erase.
Max will erase?
100%.
Get Max out of space now. How?
Just got there.
What?
He just got there.
Yeah.
NASA is working on the problem.
NASA need help.
They're still in that storage.
Help.
Okay, so this is where the whole movie just unravels, in my opinion. I love this movie. I'm a fan of this movie, but this is where all the problems have now they've snowballed into more and more and more problems because we want to move this very specific plot, right, so that everybody gets their little moment to shine, right?
I'm gonna have to try it without the MMU.
So they go to this space station, Daedalus. And they need to get these oxygen tanks, but she can't get through because her helmet keeps hitting the thing and her backpack. She can't get through.
No, tell her not to.
By the way, so you heard Willie, and the character's name is Andy. Andy speaking to the kids with a radio.
Yeah.
But for plot's sake and plot's sake alone, they didn't radio to her that Max is going to come out and help because
the 5 minutes of them prepping that.
We needed this scare moment, or else there's no movie. We might as well just shut this thing down.
We definitely
right?
we need a jump scare here.
Yeah,
that's not a real jump scare.
I'm gonna rescue you. God, I'm small enough to reach the oxygen.
Are you? Even though you're wearing the exact same size helmet and the exact same size backpack that she was struggling with?
That was my thought, too.
Yeah.
That was definitely my thought.
But that's not the big plot hole I'm talking
That's
about.
the way, Max. Now unstrap the tank and pass it over to me.
Just hanging out there.
Only.
So you guys see it?
Yeah.
What have they been doing for 12 hours?
That's what I was wondering.
They flew to the in progress station.
And that took 12 hours?
I feel
Depending
like
on if the stations orbital path was. I don't know.
Remember they had to go into a different orbit?
Well, how about this? How long is she out there?
That's a good question.
Right?
I mean,
hopefully less than 20 minutes.
Yeah. Because couldn't
go ahead.
They just need an hour more. Okay? So let's say she's out there for 20 minutes. I mean, you got to believe that she's out there for 20 minutes at least, right?
And she said that she said that she'd be like, it's going to take like 20 minutes. She said that even.
Yeah. So they need an hour more of oxygen at least. She says that. What about the tank that the kid has and the tank that she has that are outside right now? Wouldn't that have given them an hour's worth of oxygen?
Yeah.
So this whole thing, whole thing is pointless. All of this is pointless.
Yeah, I guess I did think about that a little bit when they're trying to plug it into the ship. I'm like, wait a sec. They're on a tether line, not a oxygen line from the main.
Yeah. And how many more of those backpacks are in there? They might have like 30 hours worth of oxygen just sitting in the closet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is actually more insane that they had a spacesuit for a spacewalk on a test flight that wasn't meant to leave the ground.
Yeah.
So, I
have thought, I'm like, well, maybe if it was if when they ran out, they were going to go into those suits, but I don't think they thought about that, So, yeah.
1 minute left. Okay, Max, I'm gonna take this back to the ship. The sooner you get that second tank, the sooner we can go home.
I'm hurrying, Andy. Honest.
I know you are.
The look she gives him is like, you're not, though. You're not. Really.
I also love just all right, little boy, I'm going to leave you in space.
Yeah.
Bye. Hurry up.
Go get the other one. You turn around, I'm not there. Oops. Like, good luck.
You haven't heard of black holes, have you? So they're out of oxygen. They just have what's left in the cabin. He's going to say that, right? So how long does this take?
All we have left is the air in the cabin.
Time moves differently in space, right?
But how long does all?
How long is this whole thing? Yeah.
Like so again, let's say all of this only takes 20 minutes, okay, to get the oxygen tank attached to. And then you have at least 20 minutes in each of these backpacks. If that's the only two, that's your hour right there, and then some. Really, like they could have held their breath for the last minute and a half of the flight. Open a window when they got back in the in
when you got close enough, pop the window open.
I wanted to include this because can you guys see this? Maybe not on your guys' screens, but there's some the matting problems. Yeah, it's the wire. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that the theatrical release probably fixed that with the right contrast. But
bigger screen too, and
yeah, I don't know if I saw it when I was watching it on my TV, and then I don't know what you guys are about.
That's a good idea because I was trying to look for things like that, and I did not see that. So good catch.
Are you able to see
I love my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, my favorite one was the arm bringing Max out, and how they didn't they just used cardboard on paper.
A lot of good shots.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I thought they were going to end up going to the moon for just a brief moment. I'm like, if they go to the moon, that's going to be really wild. Like, how close is everything in time? It's all go so quick. It would have been funny if they got to the moon. Like, all of a sudden, Max just starts walking on the moon.
Well,
how did you float to the moon?
And the one scene I guess I forgot to clip here is where when they all look out the window at Earth,
yeah.
Right? Catherine's character looks down on Earth and she's like, "Oh my God, John Glenn just winked at me."
Reach your hand out.
She can grab his foot at that point.
He looks at his foot. Nope.
I'm almost almost there.
I'm telling you right here. I'm like, dude, they're getting so close to the moon. Are they gonna land on the moon?
And so, and again, they can hear each other, right? So when he got out of the spaceship, out of the shuttle, and he was like, "Andy, I'm coming to get you," she didn't hear that. She was still scared by this when he approached her.
At your foot. Okay, I've got your foot.
Let me just undo this belt that's holding your suit together.
Floats away.
What happened to the lights?
The trainer.
Just love her motorcycle helmet,
Yeah, no shield.
I mean, obviously they didn't know that they were going to go to space, but or did they?
Yeah, so they got the oxygen. They're all good now. Everybody's had a chance to shine except for Catherine, right? I mean, she almost killed them all, by the way. And she almost killed
twice.
Willie as well.
Yeah.
She was gonna shut the door on Willie and let her just rot out in space, But so this is the end of the movie where she has to redo the simulator thing when she was spinning around.
The 20-second simulator. Yeah.
That 20 seconds of training you had earlier, 3 days ago. That's coming into play. Remember your training, Luke.
And they act like they've been up in space for a long, long time.
Apparently,
it's only been it's been a half a day.
13 hours.
12 hours.
I think it feels like they've been up in space for a half hour.
That's what it does kind of feel like. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how they're accounting for these other 11 and a half hours.
Even after the floating scene. After the floating scene, I was like, they are all so lucky to be alive.
I was on the edge of my seat during that.
So Catherine's got to keep this thing from a flat spin, and everybody's giving her words of encouragement. There's no real plot problem here. I just know that me personally, if it was me and everybody keeps saying this stuff to me, I would just crash it on purpose. I would just I can't.
Oopsies.
Like nobody is telling her what to do. They're just telling her how to feel about what she's doing, right?
Trainer, you can do it.
That's so realistic.
Also,
Andy?
the windows, it's a flat spin, but they're going end over end in the like on the horizon line. It just was making me so nauseated.
Yes.
Catherine, listen to me. We talked about when it would be your turn. This is it.
How is that helpful?
Just no, it's not.
Do you copy?
I copy.
She wanted to know that she was confident in getting her done.
God, it still bugs me.
Oh my gosh.
There he is.
Dude, he can just command a screen. He's not even saying anything.
Ghost picked him up.
Oh man.
With the cigarette move.
I was watching with subtitles and it just said indistinguishable cigarette noises.
It would have been great if they had been like, "Sir, you can't smoke in here." Like, or what? We'd send kids into space on accident? Like, really? All rules are off the table at this point. Kids are gonna die. So anyway, we're at the end of the movie. I just wanted to show this. I missed it. There was a little girl by her farmhouse that was like, "Oh, Kevin from Space Camp just winked at me."
A little girl in New Mexico.
She did it! Good job, Catherine.
And why couldn't Willie just do this? Well, because she took a oxygen tank to the noggin,
chest.
I mean, I don't know. I guess.
Well, there's just like one point. Okay, so first of all, Catherine goes through the entire flight sequence not attached to anything.
Yeah,
and then she just goes, "Oh, ow, my little elbow." And then a seasoned pilot takes a tank of oxygen in 0G to the chest and is like KO'd.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I'm just going to leave the flight controls to a complete amateur and just
an underage girl who has only failed one flight test.
I think she could have totally done it. And then she's sitting up when she's like trying to give her like the advice of how to do it.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just sit in the pilot seat and just move the joystick? That's all you got to do. But
Good flying, Catherine!
Good job.
Did it, Catherine?
No. We all did it.
Damn right we did.
Did you see that? They all winked at us.
My two final gripes in that last scene are that that the girl with the makeup on her, what was her name? Tristy? Something like that. Whatever.
Kelly Preston's character. Yeah.
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 After they make it through the overheat and they get contact back with NASA, immediately she was like, "That's it. We died. Catherine failed." And I'm like, bitch, she still has control of the shuttle.
She's right there.
She can just go straight down.
But then even after the fact that they did survive, she's like, "No, I heard what you said. I heard you. I heard what you said."
And then the other one is that they're supposed to be landing in White Sands and they land on a runway.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Oh, well.
It was, but I liked it, man. I did. I'm glad you've had this one in the vault for a while, and I'm glad that you pulled it out for us to watch. Talking to Trent there. This is a good one. Should we talk about our final thoughts?
Sure.
Or do you have any? You're done. We're done with clips. It looks like so. I'll go first. I'm just gonna whip it out here. That's funny, but I give it a 7.
Ooh.
I have a high score along. Like, I really like this movie a lot. I was really into it. You know, I watched it in segments because I had to, but I really enjoyed it, and I really like the fact that John Williams was a composer in the movie. And overall, yeah, give it a 7. I would buy it. I think I might. I'm gonna have to look for it on Blu-ray, and I would recommend it too.
I wonder if they fix some of the things in the Blu-ray.
I should look for it tonight. I will.
I wonder if that would ruin some of the endearing qualities of it. You know what I'm saying? If you remove all the hokiness out of Space Camp, you're just left with the right stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, those are my final thoughts.
That's another astronaut movie, Corey.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I have that on Blu-ray.
Maybe I should look for this movie on VHS.
Oh, that'd be
vintage. That'd be pretty cool. Cam, do you want to go next? I'm gonna have Trent go last here.
I did not like the first act of this movie. It made me so mad that we were just supposed to care about these characters because they exist, and that really brought it down for me. Also, the awful rip that I watched made it a little bit clunky at times, especially in the space sequences. That being said, it was still very charming. I think it deserves a 6, even though the first act, if I didn't ever watch that, I would be much happier. Like, I genuinely would have had a much better day.
And the second half was better.
If I had just watched them getting launched to space, no context, would have been way crazier of a movie.
Like, wait, what's going on? There's kids in space.
And I think they don't like each other, but maybe they do. I wouldn't buy it. I would recommend it to very specific people in my life.
Yeah.
Mainly all the other kids who were science nerds back in middle school and high school. Also, fun fact, guys, I think I've said this before. My grandpa used to run a camp called Astro Camp. On Catalina Island in California.
Did he ever accidentally send any kids to Astro?
No, because it was about it was astronomy camp. It wasn't space camp. You know, they were just studying the cosmos, not going and defiling it like.
No space shuttle engine.
Yeah.
That's
no
jinx. There's no jinx there. Trent.
Yeah, well, so you had texted that you're going to give this movie a point just for John Williams.
Yep.
So using that logic, right?
It still came to a 7 for me, though.
Yeah, so you got to give a half a point for having Tom Skerritt, a half a point for, I guess, having somebody who was in an Indiana Jones movie.
That's two.
And then you don't have to add all these up, but you get 2 points for Leaf Phoenix because he's a twin.
Yep.
It's like the Olsen twins, but it's the Phoenix twins. And then
the -4 for Jinx.
Yeah,
but
then you get 4 back because it's Frank Welker, and then and then you just give all the rest of the points for Terry O'Quinn. You know what, Terry O'Quinn brought like the macho. This movie needed a little bit of that towards the end, right? We're getting a little sensitive with the crying and the kids possibly dying. Like we need a little bit of just manpower, and Terry O'Quinn just brought that to the screen, right? With his gold watch and his
how many? I mean, is Terry O'Quinn
Britney Spears microphone?
We're like 10 stars.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 7. I would give this a 10 because I love this movie, right? You guys aren't old enough for this, but when they announced that there was a space camp, if you didn't want to go to space camp, oh my God, they were just gonna put you in a home. I mean, that was what every single kid
pretty cool
wanted. And so I looked it up. In 1986, to go to space camp, it would have been $1,000 for 1 week, $2,000 for 2 weeks. I don't know a single person that got to go to space camp because nobody's parents are that ridiculous, especially after the movie came out. Because really, best case scenario is that your kid goes to space, right? That's the best case scenario.
Parents just start putting them there like, come on, go to space. Come on, go to space.
Well, or at least better than blowing up, right? So.
Oh, yeah. So you gave it a 7.
I give it a 7.
Do you own it?
I don't.
Would you?
Of course. I've been, every media format, I'd like to have this movie. This is a great movie. This is a movie that for people who love like campy 80s movies, no pun intended, but that love it, like the 80s movies that are like cult following. If you've never seen this, you're missing out. This is right up there with some of the other movies that we've watched. This is right.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Camping movies.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. This was a lot of fun. Again, thanks for picking it. Anything else, anybody? No record tonight, so we're not going to talk about the record.
No.
So Cam's tribute is the space behind him.
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome.
And also Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits.
On that note, I'm going to go listen to some Clapton. So thanks again for joining us on Do You Remember This Movie?
Please do your show.
Hey! Great boosters!
Or this TV show.
What's so special about going up?